let's take a look at this problem. We got tangent theta is equal to 12 over 5. And theta is between pi and 3 pi over 2. So that's going to be, what was that, quadrant 3, I guess. You want to find sine of, try to write that a little bit better, theta over 2. Let's look at our formula. Sine of the half angle is equal to plus or minus square root of 1 minus cosine x, cosine theta, over 2. Well, we need cosine theta. So first, let's we said this is where our quadrant is, and tangent is equal to 12 over 5, and tangent is y over x. So we need r. So we got r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. X is 5, so we got 5 squared plus y, which is 12 squared. So we got r squared is equal to 25 plus 144. R squared is equal to 169. Drop r squared and put a square root around the other side, and we get r is equal to 13. Now I don't worry about the plus or minus because r always has to be positive. Okay, now we can find cosine. Cosine is going to be equal to x over r. X we said was 5, and r we said was 13. Because cosine theta is equal to 5/13. Well, now let's figure out what the sine of this will be. Well, we said theta is down here. And let's pick an example. Now this is 180 degrees, and this is 270. So I'm going to pick something between 180 and 200. Let's pretend it's 200. It's not, but let's pretend it's 200 degrees. Half of 200 degrees would be 100 degrees. And if this is 90 degrees here, then 100 degrees would fall right here, which means theta over 2 is in this quadrant. Now I use this to help me figure out which quadrant it is in by doing a simple example. Okay, we said it's in quadrant 2. In quadrant 2, sine is going to be positive because remember we're working with is sine here. So we're going to keep the positive version of the formula. Okay, well let's plug in 5/13 now. So we got square root of 1 minus 5/13 over 2. Now this is a complex fraction, a fraction inside of a fraction. So we're going to multiply everything by the LCM of all our inner denominators. This one right here is an inner denominator. Fraction inside of a fraction has its own denominator, which is called the inner denominator. And I'll multiply everything by 13. So I'll take 13 times 1 minus 13 times 5/13 over 13 times 2. So it'll give us a square root of 13 minus 5 over 26, which 13 minus 5 gives us 8 over 26. And I can reduce that fraction. That gives us square root of 4 over 13. Well, we can't have a fraction inside of a square root, so I'll split this up. Put a square root on top and square root on the bottom. When I do that, square root of 4 is 2, so I got 2 over square root of 13. Now we can't have a square root in denominator, so we'll multiply the top and bottom by that square root. So multiply the top part by square root of 13 and the bottom part by square root of 13. And that gives us 2 square root of 13 over square root of 13 times square root of 13 is 13. So that'd be our answer.